Bedtime Stories 37. The Whitmore Manor Deception. This is a story about my sweet, loving Charles and me. Enjoy the story. A sprawling estate rests at the edge of the countryside. Whitmore Manor looms, ivy-wrapped and creaking with secrets. Inside, I, Eleanor Whitmore, 94, but no, I am 24 years young. I look frail, but I am sharp-eyed, watching the sunrise. A gold heart-shaped locket swings from my neck, a gift from Charles, a whisper. Soon, family arrives. My niece Fiona, 55, business slick, eyes the antiques greedily. My son William, 32, polite but distant, scans the halls. Her longtime caregiver, Mara, 40s, smiles as she adjusts my blanket and pillow, but her eyes flick to the drawer where I keep my will. I noticed. Mara speaks softly to me. You shouldn't worry about anything. I'll handle the papers. Flashback. Me and my late husband Charles signing an older will. I say if anything happens, this house helps women like me. Charles nodded his head in agreement. Back to present. Mara makes a secret call. The old woman's slipping. We need that signature. Fiona confronts Mara. Split it with me. Otherwise, I tell her everything. They strike a tense truce. At night, I overhear some whispering. She writes in a hidden journal. I think to myself there are vultures circling. The next morning, Mara brings tea. I refuse. I can smell deceit like perfume. Fiona charms a local lawyer to question my mental capacity. He hesitates, but Fiona persists. William begins connecting dots. He finds old photos of me and his father working in women's shelters. I tell William, if they trap me in a lie, the truth will be buried with me. A storm hits. Lights flicker. I collapse. Mara quickly calls no one. She watches. William demands to take me to the hospital. Mara insists. She's stable. Let her rest. I have dreams of Charles. Protect the house, he says. The truth must outlive the greed. We worked so hard to have what we have, living the right life. Look at them, so wrong in how they are living like vultures. Morning comes and I wake up alert. I decide to hide the journal behind a brick in the fireplace. Fiona presents a revised will. Just sign here, and Eleanor. Her hand trembles but does not move. Mara pleads, this will ensure you're cared for, forever. I look at her coldly. William overhears Mara's call with Fiona. She's fading fast. We forge it if we must. William records the call. He consults Grace, a family friend and lawyer. It's elder abuse, she confirms. We need proof. Grace and William plan to spring a trap. Let's see what they'll do with a little bait. They hint Eleanor is transferring all assets tomorrow. Fiona panics. Mara doubles her efforts. Night falls. I place security cameras, hidden in antiques. Let's see them perform. Mara slips a sedative into my tea. I pretend to drink it. Fiona sneaks into the study, finds a will, and photographs it. The footage is clear. William watches it all. They confront Fiona. You'll be disinherited, I warn, and prosecuted. Fiona snaps. You owe us. We waited for you to die. Mara turns to run, but the police arrive. Grace called them in advance. Mara is arrested for attempted fraud, elder abuse, and coercion. Fiona faces investigation for conspiracy and manipulation. The house quiets. I can finally rest peacefully. I summon Grace and William. Burn that will. I have one that matters. They reveal the journal. A detailed account. Names, dates. It's all here. In the journal, I reveal my deepest wish. To turn Whitmore Manor into a sanctuary for abused women. Grace files the new will, now valid. Everything goes to a foundation in Eleanor's name. News spreads. Headlines read, heiress defies greed. Mansion becomes safe haven. Reporters swarm, but I stay quiet. My only statement, let my house speak for me. Months pass. Whitmore Manor is transformed into a refuge for women who need healing. The foundation bears Eleanor's name. The first women arrive, seeking solace and peace. The mansion is full of life again. Grace oversees the foundation's work. She often visits the estate, making sure everything runs smoothly. A reporter, Matt, 30s, begins investigating into my past. He interviews former shelter workers who praise my legacy. Matt stumbles upon the details of the manipulation and the dark secrets hidden behind Whitmore Manor's walls. Matt confronts Grace about the old will. Did Eleanor really want to leave everything to a charity? Grace is hesitant but stands firm. Eleanor knew exactly what she was doing. Matt's investigation intensifies, and he uncovers Mara's criminal record. She was involved in elder abuse before, but no one knew it. The press begins to catch on to the story of manipulation, greed, and the battle for my wealth. William and Grace work together to protect the foundation's future. They keep Eleanor's memory alive through the work done in her name. Meanwhile, Fiona is released on bail. She starts plotting her next move, but the community is not on her side. A woman named Lucy 40S, a former volunteer at the shelter, brings her story to the authorities. She once worked with Mara and witnessed her manipulation firsthand. Lucy's testimony helps to seal Fiona's fate. The case against her strengthens. Fiona begins to unravel, unable to handle the consequences of her actions. She tries to flee but is caught. The foundation flourishes, helping more and more women. Whitmore Manor becomes a place of refuge and safety, as Eleanor had envisioned. One evening, Grace and William sit together in the garden, reflecting on Eleanor's legacy. "The world will know your mom as a woman of strength, not weakness," Grace says. William nods. "And the mansion will never be a place of greed again." As the sun sets, the manor glows in the golden light. It stands as a beacon of hope. "My dream is complete. Me and my husband's mansion has become a sanctuary, my will honored, and my legacy secured." The day after Fiona's arrest, Matt publishes a revealing article about the twisted manipulation at Whitmore Manor. His article spreads quickly, drawing attention from all over the country. Some call Eleanor a saint, others a victim. In the aftermath, Grace receives a letter from a woman who claims to have been part of the original shelter Eleanor helped create. The woman, Margaret 50S, shares how Eleanor saved her life. Margaret reveals that Eleanor's legacy reached far beyond Whitmore Manor. Grace arranges a meeting with Margaret. They talk for hours about Eleanor's quiet acts of kindness, each story adding layers to the woman she once was. Meanwhile, William takes a moment to visit the gardens where his mom once spent hours, tending to flowers and trees. William finds a small journal hidden beneath a tree, a second one I kept, chronicling her final days and the decisions I made. In the journal, I wrote, "I will not be defined by my wealth, but by my actions and the impact I leave on those who need me. My husband stands with me on my decision." William shares the discovery with Grace. "My mom knew she was running out of time, but she made sure her legacy was clear." Fiona is tried in court for her role in the manipulation of Eleanor's will. Her greed is laid bare before everyone. In court, Fiona lashes out. She didn't deserve any of it. She was old. She was weak. Her outburst only seals her fate. The judge, which is Charles Whitmore, my late husband, delivers a stern sentence for her involvement in the elder abuse and conspiracy. Mara's trial is next. She pleads guilty to the charges of elder abuse, fraud, and manipulation. Mara's face shows no remorse as she is sentenced. She's led away, her plans for wealth shattered. The foundation grows, becoming a respected institution for the care of abused women. It opens doors to more shelters, more safe spaces. A grand ceremony is held at Whitmore Manor to officially mark the opening of the foundation's doors. Grace gives a heartfelt speech in Eleanor's honor. "As long as this house stands, so does Eleanor's and Charles' spirit. They both gave everything so others could be free." The crowd applauds. William looks up at the mansion, seeing it for what it truly is, a sanctuary. As night falls, the mansion is lit up with lanterns, each light symbolizing a life changed. In the garden, a woman named Lucy approaches William. "I'm forever grateful," she says. "Your mom and dad saved me when no one else would." William smiles warmly. They would have been proud to know the work continues. Later, Grace visits Eleanor's final resting place in the garden with her husband. "You did what you had to, and it's enough. Your mission lives on." The estate, once filled with lies and greed, is now filled with laughter and healing. Whitmore Manor becomes a name known for its charity, its compassion, and its legacy. A new woman arrives at the mansion, carrying nothing but the clothes on her back. She looks up at the house in awe. "This is where the lost find their way," she whispers to herself. Whitmore Manor stands strong, its doors always open to those in need. Eleanor and her husband's dream is alive and well. The mansion is no longer a symbol of greed or deceit. It is a beacon of hope, guiding those in the dark toward a brighter future. The foundations of Eleanor's legacy are secured, the truth of her life and purpose finally revealed. Whitmore Manor stands tall against the horizon, no longer a place of manipulation, but a home for those who need a second chance. Eleanor's final words, spoken quietly but with certainty, "Let this house be the light for those who seek refuge. Let it shine forever." By the way, my husband and I are still around, believe in life after death and outsmarting those that are out to harm and take you for granted. We now watch over the manor and are living quite comfortably. Thank you so much for joining me in watching the Whitmore Manor Deception. I hope you enjoyed the story as much as I had in creating it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more great up-and-coming bedtime stories and Bible study for the parents under their supervision. Good night and sweet dreams until next time.